That's a good smallie.
What's up, guys? I want to talk to you about a bait I've been throwing this summer, and I've been catching a ton of fish on it, and it's a bladed jig, but it's not any bladed jig. It's the Copperhead by First Gen Fishing, and how it got its name is, as you can see, it's got two BBs in the head of it, and what that does is when you're fishing this blade is knocking off those two BBs, making this the loudest bladed jig on the market. And for me, where I'm at in smallmouth country, if you know anything about smallmouth are super curious, and I feel like this loud noise that you get from these copper BBs actually gets you a few more bites and helps out draw those fish in, maybe from farther away. But I've been catching a ton of fish on this. It comes in a 3/8, half ounce, and 3/4. 70% of the time I'm probably throwing a half ounce, just because I'm usually fishing this in 7 to 10 foot of water where I'm at. If I'm going shallower, if I'm 4 foot, 4 foot or less, I'm gonna throw the 3/8. Usually if I'm pitching it around laydowns or wood or something up a little bit shallower, 3 foot of water, 2 foot of water, I'm gonna throw that 3/8. But the neat thing about the 3/4 is I do a lot of river fishing, and sometimes some scenarios that I fish are deeper, and I like to slow wind this just enough to keep that blade moving, making contact with those BBs. And that's where the 3/4 comes into play, because I can throw that, let it sink to the bottom, and I can just slow wind it in some deeper water situations and in current, and it helps keep that bait on the bottom. As far as trailers go, I like this little beaver. I got a little beaver style bait. You can see I pulled the side pinchers off, but it's just got these two flappers, and that gives it a lot of action. I like something like that, and I like throwing a swim bait. As far as line goes, I'm pretty much always throwing 12-pound P-line, 100% tactical fluorocarbon. Everywhere I'm fishing this is pretty open water, sparse cover, some grass, stuff like that. When I am flipping it around docks or laydowns, rock piles, stuff like that, somewhere where you're going to get a little bit of abrasion on your line, I will throw the P-line tactical fluorocarbon in the 15-pound. But other than that, I throw it on a medium heavy crankbait rod, moderate fast tip, and usually vary the gear ratio. I like throwing it on a little bit slower gear ratio, 6.6 or 6.4 to 1. But if I am fishing shallower water, flipping around laydown stocks, I will throw a 7 to 1 or a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. So check them out. It's a Copperhead bladed jig by First Gen Fishing. They're available at Tackle Warehouse, multiple tackle stores, and of course at firstgenfishing.com.